Folks, I have some tough news to share. Just found out that legendary musical composer, pop music composer, I should say, although he was an incredible artist all around, but Burt Bacharach has passed away at the age of 94. So we're seeing this starting to show up in Google right now. Most of the major news outlets are reporting the passage of Burt Bacharach. I love the New York Times headline here, who they call his music, his songs, buoyant pop confections. Boy, were they ever. And I did a little digging to find out exactly what had happened. 94 is a ripe old age, nothing to sneeze at there. But his publicist, Tina Browsome, has told the Associated Press that he passed away at his home in Los Angeles, and it's from natural causes. So I guess when you go, that's the way you want to go, right? You want to pass away from natural causes. Songs that immediately come to my mind: Walk On By, Do You Know the Way to San Jose, Say a Little Prayer. So many great songs that Burt composed, and I've enjoyed both the versions that have been performed by other artists as well as seeing him perform them himself. So I thought I'd come on and share the news and allow us the time, the space to share our memories. Just recently did a video on raindrops keep falling on your head, or raindrops keep falling on my head. And so anyway, let's see what we have in the comments section here. And Tom says that Burt started writing songs for the Shirelles way back in the, I would imagine, early 60s, maybe even late 50s. T.E. Ross says he was 94, had a good life, brought many good memories for millions. You know what? It's my number one station that I listen to on Pandora, my Burt Bacharach station. Yeah, he wrote a number of hits for Dionne Warwick. And let's see. Dorothea Walker says, wow, we are losing everyone from my youth so fast this year. Yeah, tough news. Let me clear my throat real quick. Keith, channel member Keith, says, another one. This is going to be a rough year. And Cindy D says, great songwriter, great collaborator with wife Carol Bayer Sager. Oh, and yeah, what a great song. That's what friends are for. Hey, Adrian, good to have you here. If you are just arriving, folks, we just got word that Burt Bacharach has passed away at the age of 94 due to natural causes. The Guardian called Burt a master of pop songwriting, and that's so true. And Fox News points out that he was an Oscar-winning composer. And BBC News says that he was one of pop's greatest songwriters. But my favorite is what the New York Times said about Burt Bacharach, calling his music buoyant pop confections. Boy, were they ever. And again, his publicist, Tina Browsome, has told the Associated Press that he died in his home in Los Angeles of natural causes. We go back to the comments. Dorothy's saying that she's waiting for news when we lose Ozzy and Willie. Well, I'm not waiting for any of that news, Dorothea, and hopefully we don't hear it for a very long time. Cindy D says that Arthur's theme, The Best You Can Do. I was unaware that he had written that. I thought that had been written by Christopher Cross, but I love the song. Maurice Hampton says Burt was a very great talent, so many great songs. Yeah, I mean, when I think of songwriters and composers with the most hits, he probably is at the very top of my list. Let's see, Zingwilder 99 says, wow, what a powerhouse he was. I knew he was getting very old. Yeah, 94, right? Lisa Schreiber says, so many great musical memories he has left us. What a full life he led, for sure. For sure. I mean, if you can think about what one would want to accomplish in this life, I have to think that he checked a lot of the boxes. David McKinney says, I really hate to hear that he passed away. He was an excellent songwriter and performer. May God bless his soul. Rest in peace. And David Zentara, I should now say channel member David Zentara, thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate you joining the ranks of those folks that are Good Stuff channel members. And, you know, the good thing about being a channel member is you get advance access to my videos. You usually get to see them 2 or 3 days ahead of time before I actually publish them to YouTube. And then we have exclusive live streams, a few other perks. Let's see, channel member Emily Miller says, happy to see y'all, but sad for the reason we're here, for sure. And welcoming David to the channel member community. Thanks for doing that, Emily. And thanks for being here. Tom said, didn't he do an Austin Powers movie? You know, it's been so long since I've watched those films. You know, his music it played in the very first Austin Powers film, but I don't know if he made a cameo appearance or not. And Cindy D says that author's theme was co-written with Christopher Cross. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, totally get that. Totally get that, Dorothea. We don't want to lose anyone. Anyone else? All right. And by the way, a thank you to Danny Staten for first making me aware of the passing of Burt. All right, let's see. Channel member David Zentara says, I think he did 2 Austin Powers movies. Like I said, I remember his music in the first one, but I don't remember any sort of cameo or anything like that. But, you know, if you think about Burt Bacharach's music and those Austin Powers films, they are like total complements for each other. Bubsum PR, Bubsump MR says, going on a Norwegian cruise in April, and they have a show called What the World Needs Now that celebrates his music. Will be extra special now. Boy, that sure will. And for folks that are just arriving, we got news probably 15, 20 minutes ago, when the half hour maybe, when the major news outlets started reporting it, that we had lost Burt Bacharach at the age of 94. His publicist says that he died in his Los Angeles home. I haven't gotten an exact date if it was yesterday or date of death is yesterday or today, but dies at the age of 94 due to natural causes. And I love the accolades, the headlines here. You know, the Guardian says Burt was a master of pop songwriting, and Fox News reminds us all that he was an Oscar-winning composer. BBC News says that he was one of pop's greatest. But I love what the New York Times says, calling his music buoyant pop confections. Okay, back to the comments here. Cindy D says that Rolling Stone named him the 32nd best songwriter of all time. I think that's low. Oh, and I do love his collaborations with Elvis Costello. Thanks for pointing that out, David. Hey, Maurice, good to have you here. Wish it were under better circumstances. And Tiffany B says another sad passing. Precious One says, yes, he did make a cameo in the second Austin Powers movie with Heather Graham. Awesome. I'll have to go back and watch that one again. They're all fun. Ann Brown says, what a bummer way to begin the day. Rest in peace. Yeah, you have a blessed day too, Dorothea. Yeah, I do. I love the Look of Love song as well. So many good songs. Say a Little Prayer is one of my favorites as well. Texas Gina says he was incredible. Bruce P says, great songwriter. Wrote many for Tijuana Brass, Dionne Warwick, The Carpenters. Got Herb Alpert to sing This Guy's in Love with You, #1 hit. So many great songs. Yeah. This Guy's in Love with You. That is a great song. Thanks for a reminder about that one. Like I said, My number one played station on Pandora is my Burt Bacharach station. When I need to just kind of mellow out a little bit and feel good, no one's music does it better, at least for me, than Burt Bacharach. Channel member Thrash Pondo Ponds, welcome to the live stream. Again, I wish it were under better circumstances. Says, just heard. Rest in peace, Mr. Bacharach. Cheryl H., his music always lifted your spirits. So very true. That's what it does for me in this chaotic, crazy world that we live in. You know, Burt Bacharach. That smile right there came through in every single one of his songs. There was just a hope and optimism and joy that comes through in his music. And it's being reported over the last hour or so. We've started to get reports trickling in that he passed away Wednesday. So we got the date of death there. Wednesday, that would have been the 8th of February, 2023, in his home, Los Angeles. And it was due to natural causes. Getting back to the comments. Let's see. Channel member David Centura says he did a medley of his songs in concert, and it was about 40 minutes long. I think I saw that on PBS a while back. It was during one of their fundraising efforts, and I really enjoyed watching that concert. M says the end of an era. Channel member Emily Miller says, I had a music box when I was a kid that played Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Great song. Like I said, I did a video not too long ago about that particular song. Of course, it was in the movie, Burt Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And Robert Redford's a version to that song, at least originally. It's a fun video. Mullen25 says that he was married to Angie Dickinson. I didn't know that. You know what? I don't know a lot about his personal life. I think I tended to just really enjoy his music. Let's see. Sakina McMurrin, welcome to the live stream. Again, I wish it were under better circumstances. Says, rest in peace, Burt Bacharach. And yeah, even though you don't like the news, I would appreciate a like if you are finding this live stream informative. And for me, getting together and connecting with my community and anyone else that wants to join us, it's therapeutic, right? As I get older and I start to see those people that I admired that contributed to the tapestry of my life, and Burt Bacharach certainly did that with his music. These moments are important to get together and celebrate and remember a life. Yes, The Look of Love. Thanks for pointing that one out by Cindy D. Yes, that was where I saw that concert. It was on PBS. Let's see. Yes, Susan R. says, enjoyed his collaboration with Dionne Warwick. I think there was more than one. There were a handful of songs that she sang, including at the very end there in the 80s there, That's What Friends Are For. Channel member Lance Chaffett in the house, welcome. Let's see. Thrash Pondo Ponds, channel member Thrash Pondo Ponds says the raindrops keeps falling on my head was his mother's favorite song. Bruce P says, I remember an offbeat, quirky song sung by B.J. Thomas, Everybody's Out of Town. Let's see. Beta Ray Bill says, just by coincidence, I mentioned the original Alfie earlier today because Burt did the soundtrack for that classic film along with jazz great Sonny Rollins. Rest in peace, Burt. The best. I agree. The best. He was, someone earlier mentioned that he was voted the 32nd best composer of all time by Rolling Stone. I don't know if it was the critics or readers or what, but I think because his music was, confections, pop confections, maybe they tended to move him down the list. I certainly rank him in the top 5 of all time. I just think he was such a talented human being, and his ability to make people feel good with his music. What a powerful tool. Michael Scherer says, thank you, Mr. Bacharach. You always made me feel better when listening to your music. Your work will live on. Nicely said, Michael. Kevin Connor drops a little super sticker in there. Thank you, Kevin. Truly appreciate that. That's kind of you to do this morning. Let me do this. Let me find a little something. I don't want to do anything too buoyant or joyous here because the mood's a bit somber, but here you go.
You are special.
Thank you for your support, good sir. Truly appreciated. Let's see what else we have. Cindy D says his music was feel good music. It sure was. It sure was. And Franken J. Stein says, rest in peace. He seems to have left us in peace. He deserved a good send off. Boy, did he ever. Well said. See, Sakina McMurran says, I loved Herb Alpert's This Guy's in Love with You. It's one of my all time favorites, too. And Angie is still alive and well, the celebrity juicer points out. I read an article about her the other day. It's good to have her still with us. Talented actress. And Cindy D points out, What's New Pussycat, performed by Tom Jones, another great song. Tom McCluskey says, do you know the way to San Jose? Or he knows the way to San Jose. Another great song. I believe that was performed originally by Dionne Warwick. Bruce P says, theme to the original Casino Royale with Peter Sellers. There's a, I mean, you know, it was a mainstream movie at the time, but not one that you typically hear. So thank you for pointing that one out. Marco Falzoni says, wow, the greats are going. He inspired Brian Wilson. He inspired a lot of different people in all different fields, right? Not just musicians. I think that's the power of music, is the ability to influence and inspire for good. The celebrity juicer says, was just talking about some Burt's music with a friend at lunch a few weeks ago. Anyone Who Had a Heart. Yep, another classic. Indy Lieberwitz said, rest in peace, Burt. He really lived for the music. What's It All About, Alfie? Of course, that from the movie. Deleted scenes. Gives a little emoji there. Prayers for Burt. Channel member Emily Miller says, I'm not going to pretend his music was my favorite genre, but I can't deny his talent. Well, there you go. You know, I mean, his music isn't for everyone, right? They were undeniably, as the New York Times pointed out, pop confections, right? Pop confections that were just, and I love that they say they lifted the 60s, because they did. That was a very turbulent time, and his music helped people escape from the chaoticness of it all. And truthfully, his music still does. That's for me when I need to settle down and relax just a little bit. That's what I do. Now, official date of death was yesterday, Wednesday, at his home in Los Angeles. He passed away due to natural causes, which is the way to go. His publicist reported that to the Associated Press earlier this morning. All right, back to comments here for a minute more. I'm going to keep this live stream short and sweet today, I think. Let's see. Channel member Lance Chaffin says, Herb Alpert's Rise is the song that I like. And Cindy D says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Anonymous says, Dionne Warwick is one of my favorite singers, but I don't think she would be quite as successful, and this is so very, very true, Anonymous, without Burt Bacharach. Thanks for the music, Mr. Bacharach, and may God rest your lyrical soul. Marco Falzoni points out Arthur's theme, and that's what friends are for. Hawkrider88 says he was a musical giant for sure. Maurice Hampton says Burt, and Quincy Jones, Ay No Querida. And Cindy D says easily listening doesn't rank high. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. And yeah, he wrote the score for the musical version of Lost Horizon. Thanks for pointing that out, channel member Thrash Pondo Ponds. Cindy D says he was special for sure. And Salem's Lot and More says, rest in peace. Something you said says, not that I'm a quality songwriter, but I used to make a point of analyzing his melodies. I thought they were that good. I hate to hear of his death. As do I. As do I. And Peter Anderson points out he did the theme for the ABC Music of the Week. Or Movie of the Week. I remember that. And Ben Dover points out that the Carpenters owe him big time. Folks, I'm going to wrap it up one more time. News coming out this morning. All the major news outlets are reporting this now. I think we can officially, comfortably say this is not a hoax, that Burt Bacharach, I love what the New York Times says, Buoyant Pop Confections, the composer of Buoyant Pop Confections, has passed away at the age of 94. This is according to his publicist, Tina Browsome, who reported it to the Associated Press. He passed away yesterday, February 8th, 2023. As I am going to close down this live stream, I would encourage folks that are just watching this video on replay to post your comments, your memories, words that celebrate the life of Burt Bacharach in the comments section. And let's all do our best to remember this amazing composer today. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to fire up Pandora after I get done here, and I'm going to just celebrate his music by listening to his songs. And I have a feeling, like they always do, that they're going to lift me and make me feel better, even though we've lost a great one. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.